Hey everyone, Mario again coming at you with another video. As you can tell from out there, this one is Steven Universe related. I think I've only ever done one other Steven Universe related video. For some of you this might be a surprise. Yes, technically I'm a member of the Steven Universe fandom. Before I get into the video, I might explain a little bit of that. And when I was with Jennifer and I was visiting her in Florida, I just randomly came across a show, flipping through channels one afternoon, bored, come across the show on Cartoon Network. I'm like, what in the world is this? In case anyone's wondering, it's the episode where they go to the arcade. Caught my interest, so I just watched it. I'm like, okay, this is a weird show. Once I came back, I looked it up a little bit more and slowly started watching clips on YouTube and slowly got into the show. I still have a lot of episodes to go back and rewatch, but it hooked me and basically became a member of the fandom. And then when new episodes started popping up, I started watching them. And of course, with what I've been looking up online in regards to the show, I was really looking forward to how this season was going, especially now that with the thing that's the main focus of this video. Steven is now on Homeworld, the Wanted event. Steven Universe Wanted, a 4-episode arc, a Steven bomb. Now, if there's anything disappointing, is that the first part of this 4-parter is an episode that had already premiered, at least going by the dates on IMDb. It had already premiered, and the clips had already been all over YouTube by the time this episode came out, so it's like, alright. So that's the part I really just paused. I already know about it. Then once it got forward enough, I fast-forwarded it to the true beginning, and wasn't disappointed. I mean, a couple clips had leaked on YouTube already by Friday, so we'd seen a little bit of the episode, but thankfully only a couple small snippets that were a little bit out of context leaks, so the full impact was still there. The only really major spoiler is the little thing involving Lars, but I'll get to that in good time. Now, the first thing is Steven went on trial in front of the Diamonds. When I saw that, I'm like, ooh, this is going to be interesting. I have a feeling it was going to be a kangaroo court, and I was right, technically, once the Diamonds appeared. I mean, Yellow Diamond wanted to smash Steven right away, but it was Blue Diamond's like, I want to hear her case. Obviously, it's probably still going to be a kangaroo court, but they at least want to see what she has to say. Mainly, Blue wants to know why. I mean, from Blue Diamond's first appearance, we saw she's still grieving over Pink Diamond's death. I mean, Yellow is a little bit, but she's kind of moved on. Or at least she's saying she moved on. You'll see in a moment why I say that. So Blue wants to know the why, which is something that Steven's lawyer, a Blue Zircon, picks up on and later uses in her arguments. And during the course of this, we actually find out the story about how they say Pink Diamond was smashed, and that was with her sword. Rose supposedly smashed her with a sword. Now, the thing we know about this is that the sword Rose used, at least the one she was using that Connie now uses, does not shatter gems. It reverts them to their normal form. So, unless she had another sword before, which, considering that Bismuth did not mention another sword, I doubt it, and I don't think she would have used the breaking point, I have a feeling that Rose Quartz, or at least this one, Steven's mother, was set up. And who do I think the culprit is? I think that she was set up by Yellow Diamond. Now, the only real question is, what would be the motive? My hypothesis is that maybe Pink Diamond was having second thoughts about doing to Earth what they were going to do with it. Maybe like Rose, she had fallen in love with it. Maybe that's the reason that Rose came to fall in love with it and decided to rebel further. Because it's kind of hard to tell if the flashback we see that involves Garnet's backstory, if that happened before or after Pink Diamond was smashed, because they never mention it. If it happened afterwards, it would make a little bit more sense why Rose Quartz would be following Pink Diamond's dream if she's the one that originated it. But if it was before, the idea kind of falls apart a little bit, but we'll find out by the end of the show whether or not it was the case. And maybe that was Yellow Diamond's motive, because she seems to be really into the whole Diamond Authority thing, from what little we've seen of her, so I could see Yellow Diamond going, "You're not going to follow through with this? Well then, I will smash you." And with the way that the Blue Zircon explains her hypothesis, it would make sense that it was Yellow. You could also say it was Blue and that the whole grieving thing is just her cover, but I truly believe that Blue is the most merciful of the Diamonds and that she really is heartbroken. I can only imagine the anger she would feel towards Yellow if Yellow did break her. But then there's the other possibility. Maybe it was White Diamond. We still haven't seen her, we've only seen like the one mural of her, and they haven't mentioned her by name yet, so there's always that possibility. But then again, if White Diamond did it, why haven't they mentioned it? And where is she? Was she shattered too? Is she off doing her own thing? Will she play a part in the series? Who knows? We're gonna have to wait and see. Of course, Steven and Lars escape, and they end up going down onto the top part of homeworld, and they end up being chased by homeworld machines. I'm gonna probably mess up the pronunciation of the things. It's those blast probanoids, I think they're pronounced. It's things we saw Peridot use earlier in the show. And Steven and Lars end up running into some cast-off gems. Two of them are fusions, one of them a multi-fusion, and another one is basically a Siamese twin gem that came out wrong, which is why, of course, all the people who are very pompous and prim and proper on Homeworld are gonna be like, "How dare you come out wrong?" in the corner. And because of that, they're cast out. And of course, Steven doesn't see anything wrong with them, partially because he grew up with the Earth Gems, and also because of his nature. He's like, hey, you're not wrong, you're just different, you're unique. He cherishes people just for their uniqueness. Now, in the resulting scuffle that happens when the machines follow them, Lars is technically killed, but apparently Steven can resurrect people with his healing powers. But here's the twist. He's basically like Lion now. He can put things in his hair. Which, of course, just answered one question I was wondering. If this is not going to be the finale of the show, how is Steven going to get back to Earth? And he gets back to Earth by exploiting the connection in Lars' head, but Lars is trapped in Homeworld with the other gems. Since he's a human, technically the things are not going to care about him unless he attacks them. He'll probably exploit this to help protect the gems while he's there. Steven gets back home, and of course everyone's happy to see him. Just the reaction from everyone when they see Steven's back. His dad, Greg, you could tell that he was very heartbroken that Steven did this. And just seeing him, you could really get the genuine emotion that him and the rest of the characters are feeling. The animation for this scene was excellent. The animation for the whole episode was great, but just for that moment alone, that kind of stands out. And of course, stuff during the trial also stands out too. Another little thing I forgot to mention in the trial is the reaction from the Pearls at certain parts in the arguments. They're like, ooh. And of course, they also bring up the fact where was Pink Diamond's Pearl. That's one thing I forgot to mention. If the Pearl we know turns out to be Pink Diamond's Pearl, what could she know that she hasn't said? Or does she remember anything? Maybe her mind was wiped. We don't know. That's possible, but this is another little theory thrown there. Now, I am looking forward to the next couple episodes because I wonder how the story is going to progress from here. Is the Blue Diamond going to return to Earth in an attempt to try to maybe think, hey, maybe some answers are here. Maybe I can find the other gems to try to talk with them. Right, and maybe even Rose Quartz ended up back here. He's going to want to find out more answers. And maybe one day Steven and Blue Diamond might meet face to face by themselves and they'll have a little chat. There's not really much else to say. Like I said earlier in this video, I believe the Yellow Diamond probably did it, but I am open to other possibilities. That's just the hypothesis I'm going with right now. Like I said, the only question is, other than, maybe Pink Diamond having a change of heart and Yellow not liking that, what could Yellow's motive be other than maybe trying to go for a full Diamond Authority power grab? I mean, Peridot mentioned that she is in charge of Homeworld's military, so maybe this is how she got that. Use the paranoia from a quartz smashing her own diamond to seize power. Just a thought.